Welcome to Bourbon Riders and tonight's sixth installment of the FrankenBlend Challenge. This is the last episode before we go to our finale, where we're going to blind test all six to see which batch is the best, right? So I want to once again thank my contestants. I think show number 2 was Louis IV. Show number 3 was Jim Reichel. Number 4 was Cruiser Dog, and number 5 was Dave. No, Dave's not here, so stop asking. So, we've got 5 wonderful blends, and tonight we're going to add on a number 6. And this one comes from Scott, and we'll put his username below, so if you'd like to chat with him and ask him how he came up with this, that'd be great. So, when we come back, we're going to get set up and get right into this mixology. Okay, we're set up, ready to go, but before we do, this batch number 6 recipe had several good suggestions, and I want to acknowledge those. Jim Reichel came up with the idea of using the Chattanooga Founders Edition, I think this guy right here, along with the Elijah Craig A123. I thought that was a great idea, and if I didn't want to give another person a chance at it, I probably would have gone with it if we hadn't had any more suggestions. Sorry, Jim, that really is a good idea, and we are going to use that one in the future, and I'll explain that at the end of the show. Cruiser Dog came up with the 1792 Foolproof and John J. Bowman for a number of the different base bourbons, and we did use that one, so we couldn't use that one again. Louis IV, who was show number 2, Mad Scientist, recommended the Maker's Mark. In fact, he said, isn't anyone going to use the Maker's Mark BEP? That would have been great. No one came up with a full suggestion. Maker's Mark, BEP, 4 Roses, and what? So I'm not trying to create these. I want these to come from you. So it didn't make it on this one, but we're definitely going to put that back in the mix for another FrankenBlend show. And Maniac the Destroyer, I hope I'm saying that correctly. And please, don't send me any Destroyer hate mail. He recommended Old Forester 1910 and Old Elk Cigar Cut. And that'd been great if I had the cigar cut. That sounds like a really, really good combination from what I've heard about the cigar cut. I don't have that. Maybe one day in the future I will. And I'm going to hold on to these. And it may be a future show. But right now, the person that won the lottery, so to speak, wanted a 6th contestant, and we have one. Scott Stutzman came up with the recipe I thought was the best for tonight. And at first I wasn't too sure about it, and I made an alternate suggestion, and then I kind of said to myself, no, I'm going to go with Scott's original suggestion because he might be smarter than me. Oh, he likely is smarter than me. So, what did Scott suggest? Well, of course, he has to go with the base of the 4 Roses, 50 milliliters. And he suggested 2 other bourbons. I think they're both bourbons, yeah. 2 other bourbons. He didn't give me the quantities, in other words, the milliliters he wanted for each. So I kind of took it from that and run with it. And I think Scott will be happy. 4 Roses, yellow label. They call that yellow label. It doesn't really look yellow to me. But anyways, the 4 Roses base bourbon, 80 proof, is in the large beaker. And we're going to go to the middle beaker now, even though it looks like the lowest. That has only 20 milliliters in it because there again, I'm kind of cranking things up a little bit. And that 20 milliliters is the Old Forester 100. That would be a good base bourbon in any FrankenBlend. So adding to it now really gives it that Brown-Forman taste that the yellow roses doesn't have. It really makes an interesting combination here. So right now we've got, a little bit, probably about 85 proof or so. This is 100, this is 80, so you do the math. We haven't upped it a lot. We haven't upped the sweetness a lot. And of course, we've upped the proof a little bit. For the other 30 milliliters, and that's where, rather than make it equal, I decided, because this stuff is really good stuff. Redwood Empire Pipe Dream Cask Strength. I just did a review just a couple weeks ago on this stuff. This stuff is killer juice. It's 116.8 proof, and the proof really isn't, it's not as much as the Elijah Craig or the Larceny, but the flavor that comes through that and the sweetness, complexity, man, this is either going to be great or a total failure. I'm kidding, Scott. I'm sure it's not going to be a total failure. I'm thinking it's going to be great. We never know until we mix it up, right? So let's get going here. Let's mix in the Old Forester 100. Put that off to the side. And back away, guys. Woo-hoo. You can see the smoke rising. So, really don't have to talk about any more shows that I need suggestions for, but I will go ahead and tell you that right after this show, we are going to have our finale, and that is going to be a typical Blinded by Spice episode, but instead of 4 bourbons or whiskey, we've got 6. And my lovely assistant is going to help me. She's going to set it up and pour it for me from those bottles. And we're going to go ahead and create the 6th bottle right now. And hopefully I won't spill this like I have most of the rest of the ones, right? And we can see it's already labeled, Scott, batch number 6. These are the craziest little funnels. I bought this whole thing as a set, and I'm starting to go through them. I really didn't know they were 2 ounces when I bought them. I wasn't paying attention. I thought they were smaller. And I didn't spill any this time. That's amazing. Normally it's all over the place. Let's see if I got enough for a decent pour here. I should have. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Pick up a fresh glass. There we go. And there I just spilled some. Leave it to me to make a mess. All right, I'm going to put that batch number 6. Put that right on the shelf there. It's ready to go for the show. And like I said, we'll probably have this Saturday morning at 7 a.m. And then just so it doesn't get confusing, probably have the finale show right after at, let's say, 8. It won't be long. Okay, well, let's see what kind of mad scientist Scott is here. It's kind of a light to medium amber. It's not too dark. I really thought it might be darker there, but the Four Roses, as I remember, is a pretty light color. And we do have a nice film there and multiple legs. Not real heavy, kind of skinny, if you like that kind of thing. But definitely some nice old coating going on there. And we'll put the Scott's recipe on the screen if we haven't already. So if you want to try this at home, so be it. So let's see what this wondrous batch number 6 smells like. Wow. That pipe dream really comes through. And I think I pick up the Old Forest 100. And the Four Roses is not to be found. It's been obliterated. They just went in there and just beat the crap out of the Four Roses and says, we're taking over. Nope. This is all butterscotch, molasses, vanilla, and oak. Smells pretty good. I wasn't quite sure, when I first saw the combination and going like, Old Forester 100? Really? But when you look at how overwhelming this would be, you don't need too overwhelming. You need something that brings in more flavor without trying to obliterate. You don't really want to get rid of the Four Roses. You just want to make it better. So far, it smells better. Cheers. That is a spice bomb. Woo! And that that proof comes through. Not ethanol. I mean, you don't taste any ethanol, but you taste the proof and the spice. And then, so that's the spice and the proof are the first thing that hits you, and then you get some fruity goodness. A little sweet, not real sweet, but definitely some dark and medium fruits going on there. Some oak. A little bit of the molasses brown sugar comes through, but it is spice, proof, and fruit in that order. Wow. Let's take another sip. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. This is a smooth operator. Oh, yeah. That spice is wonderful. I'm not a fan, and you've been watching the show a while. Some of these bourbons that they get the spice too much or too peppery, or the rye spice is too high. Not a fan. You give me a good baking spice on the palate, tip of the tongue. Man, whoo. Yes, this is halfway between savory and sweet. It really is. I remember the other day I did a first pour on the Bibb and Tucker double char, and I noticed how savory that was. And I said, I got the savory, you bring the sweet. This brings the savory and the sweet, and some fruit. Triple play. Very nice, Scott. Very nice. Wow. We have got 6 killer blends. It's going to be really hard for me to pick out the best out of it. I may have to pass out before I pick it out. That'd be good on video, wouldn't it? Wow. Let's take one more sip, and we'll give you some final thoughts. Tonight, another successful blend. Thanks to Scott, and thanks to all the participants and people that have tuned in to view. The announcement I was talking about later, I will go ahead and tell you right now. I won't wait till the finale. We so much like the show and like the participation from our viewers and subscribers that this is going to be a regular show come late summer and into the fall. This is going to be a regular show. We will probably have every week or two. We'll have to see how often. I've got so many shows going on, I can only produce so many. But we are adding this to it, and we're going to make it bigger and better, and there may even be some prizes in the end. Who knows? So we are so happy that you've come and joined us tonight. And please stay around. In probably less than an hour, we'll have the finale where all 6 of these batches go head-to-head, and we'll tell you which mad scientist is the craziest. It's probably not me. So, as always, please drink responsibly, never drink and drive, and we'll see you in less than an hour. Cheers.